I rented my boyfriend Ryan's favorite restaurant for his birthday surprise and invited all his friends. But when I arrived, I found him putting an engagement ring on another woman's finger. And when she asked me, "Who are you?" I discovered that Ryan had been living a double life for 2 years and was married to her. I had always prided myself on being the perfect girlfriend. At 26, I worked as a marketing coordinator in San Francisco while my boyfriend Ryan was a software engineer. We'd been together for exactly 2 years, and I considered our relationship the most stable partnership I'd ever experienced. Ryan was everything I'd been looking for: intelligent, ambitious, and seemingly devoted to our future together. He talked constantly about our plans for moving in together and eventually getting married. But what I didn't realize was that Ryan's predictable behavior was hiding the most elaborate deception imaginable. I had been planning Ryan's 25th birthday surprise for over 2 months. I researched his favorite restaurant, contacted all his friends, and even arranged for his brother to fly in from Portland. Ryan had always been private about his social life, which I attributed to his introverted personality. He rarely posted on social media and seemed to prefer quiet nights at home. But here's where Ryan's secretive tendencies would take on a much darker meaning than I ever suspected. The planning process had been surprisingly difficult. Several friends I tried to contact seemed confused about who I was or claimed they hadn't seen Ryan in months. What I didn't know was that my difficulty reaching Ryan's friends was a warning sign of something far more sinister. Ryan's work schedule had become increasingly unpredictable, with frequent business trips that I never questioned. He would be unreachable for hours, explaining strict company policies about personal phones. But what Ryan claimed to be doing during his mysterious absences would prove to be completely different from what I'd been told. The evening of Ryan's surprise party began exactly as I'd planned. I arrived early at Chez Laurent, his favorite French restaurant, to ensure everything was perfect. But what I discovered when I walked into that private dining room would shatter every assumption I'd made about the man I loved. I froze in the doorway when I saw Ryan already seated at my reserved table, but he wasn't alone. Ryan was down on one knee next to a beautiful blonde woman I'd never seen before, holding an engagement ring. Here's where my perfect surprise party became the most devastating moment of my life. I stood paralyzed as I watched Ryan slide the ring onto the woman's finger and embrace her with genuine love. This was supposed to be Ryan's birthday surprise, but instead I was witnessing his engagement to a stranger. But what happened when the other woman noticed me would expose the true scope of Ryan's deception. The blonde woman looked up and called out cheerfully, "Oh, are you here for the Morrison party? I think they're in the other dining room." When I didn't respond, she tried again. "Excuse me, are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." That's when I found my voice and asked the question that would reveal the most devastating betrayal imaginable. I managed to stammer, "I'm looking for Ryan Walsh. This is his birthday party." The woman's expression shifted to concern as she glanced at Ryan, who had turned completely white. She looked back at me and asked, "I'm sorry, but who are you?" "Ryan is my husband." The word husband hit me like a physical blow, but what I learned next would be even more shocking. Ryan's face went from white to red as he realized there was no escape. The woman, his wife, was looking between us with growing alarm. But here's where I discovered that Ryan's deception was far more elaborate than a simple affair. Ryan's wife introduced herself as Amanda Walsh. She explained, "We've been married for 3 years and live in Marin County. Ryan works as a software engineer but travels frequently." Amanda had no idea Ryan had been living a separate life in San Francisco. What Amanda revealed next would prove that I'd been dating a man who didn't actually exist. Amanda told me, "We have a 2-year-old son named Tyler, and we're expecting our second child. This engagement ring was an anniversary gift to celebrate our pregnancy." But the most devastating revelation was still to come. As Amanda and I compared notes, it became clear Ryan had been maintaining 2 completely separate identities. The Ryan I knew lived in a Soma condo. The Ryan Amanda knew lived in their Marin County home with their family. What we discovered about how Ryan managed this deception would expose the true extent of his manipulation. The confrontation between Amanda, Ryan and me would expose systematic deception neither woman could have imagined. Under pressure, Ryan confessed he'd been deliberately maintaining two relationships for over 2 years. But here's where we learned Ryan's double life was even more calculated than simple infidelity. Ryan revealed he'd been using different addresses and even social security numbers. The Soma condo was a rental he used only for our relationship. His real home was with Amanda and Tyler. What Amanda discovered about their finances would prove Ryan had been stealing from their family to pay for our relationship. Amanda realized the business trips Ryan claimed were actually time spent with me, and his consulting income was money withdrawn from their joint accounts. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. I learned Ryan had been planning to disappear entirely rather than choosing between his two lives. He'd been liquidating assets and preparing to vanish with enough money to start over elsewhere. What Ryan admitted about his long-term plans would prove both women had been marks in an elaborate con game. Ryan confessed, "I never loved either of you genuinely. Both relationships were opportunities to practice living double lives and steal money without detection." That's when Amanda and I realized we needed to work together to ensure Ryan faced consequences. 3 years later, I've rebuilt my life with a career helping other fraud victims. Ryan was convicted on multiple felony charges and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The alliance between Amanda and me led to his prosecution for fraud, identity theft, and bigamy. Our cooperation ensured prosecutors had comprehensive evidence for serious criminal charges. I sued Ryan for all money I'd spent on our relationship. The settlement covered my financial losses and provided compensation for emotional trauma. Amanda's divorce gave her full custody and majority of their assets. The court found Ryan's deception made him an unfit parent. The criminal charges led to discovery of additional victims from Ryan's previous schemes in other cities. His prosecution helped solve multiple cold cases. Amanda and I have become close friends, supporting each other through therapy and legal proceedings. We've both learned to form new relationships based on complete transparency. Ryan completed his sentence, but continues facing legal consequences. His criminal record has made rebuilding his life extremely difficult. The restaurant where I planned the surprise party now donates profits to help relationship fraud victims. The private dining room was renamed in honor of romantic manipulation survivors. I often reflect on how my attempt to create the perfect surprise led to exposing one of the most elaborate relationship frauds law enforcement had encountered. The surprise party that was supposed to celebrate love became the beginning of Ryan's downfall and my recovery. Sometimes the perfect surprise reveals the most imperfect relationship. My celebration of love exposed a criminal who'd been stealing years of my life. But discovering the truth set me free to find something real. What would you do if your surprise party revealed your partner was living a double life? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for daily shocking relationship betrayal stories like this one. Smash that like button if this incredible story amazed you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Comment your thoughts and share your own relationship betrayal experiences. We upload a brand new, jaw-dropping, real-life story every single day at Don't Miss Tomorrow's shocking tale that will leave you speechless. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next incredible story.